Welcome to the Bamgboshe Happy Hour. Let's talk Big Brother Season 27. I am Paige Bamgboshe Roethlisberger. And before we begin, guys, don't forget to comment, to subscribe, and to like this video. Welcome. Today is July 30th. It is day 23 in the Big Brother house. Woo, 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 woo. So we are at the end of week 3, and we like to do our tier rankings. So just to recap, guys, who do we have? We have Catherine as head of household. I'm joking, not Catherine. That was a joke. Lauren is head of household. We also have on the block, Kelly. We also have Will. And we have as a renom going up after Keanu won the power of veto, we have Adrian. So 3 people on the block because we have the Big Brother blockbuster. So every week they do 3 nominations. I wonder if they're going to do 3 nominations until jury or if they're going to continue on after jury. Okay, I'm adjusting my mic. You can see it. Well, I'm getting used to everything, guys. So please bear with me and thank you for your patience and for everyone who is tuning in to listen. Okay, so let's get into our Power 3 rankings. Now, first, there are 3 different tiers. The first tier, the bottom tier, is Hooch. Now, Hooch is like you are actively doing things to F up your game. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory. The mid-level tier is premium. Now, premium, you're doing some pretty decent things, but you're also doing some things that, some little flaws there that could cause some issues. And then finally is top shelf, where mostly everything you're doing is really, really good. You're actively helping your position in the game, and you're also aligned with the right people. So top shelf is pretty hard to get, although there are different levels in each tier. All right, so let's get started. All right, so the first person is Adrian. So Adrian is a Hooch, unfortunately. I'm going to give him a high Hooch because obviously he's a super fan, as we saw from the videos before before Big Brother aired. He can win competitions. He knows how to play the game, but he keeps finding himself on the block. He was on the block last week. He's on the block this week. My issue with Adrian is, number one, is that he comes across as being like higher than mighty. He kind of looks down on people. I hate liars. I hate liars. This is Big Brother. So in order to win, you're going to have to lie and not telling people things. There is a thing as lying by omission, and that is what you are doing, Adrian. Okay. But I think if he stays, I think that he can do some things. I think he can make waves. So I'm giving him a high Hooch, but he's on the block again, and he managed to kind of talk himself on the block, even though he didn't talk himself into being a candidate to me to be on the block. But what he did was he didn't help himself when he went to speak to Lauren, because Lauren is just a scaredy cat. She's just scared. She's scared of everything. She's scared of the women. She's, just scared. Everyone scares her. Poor girl. Again, why are you in the Big Brother house if you're so scared? What do you think these people are going to do to you? Okay. Ashley. Okay. Now, Ashley, I would automatically just give her a Hooch because she is just so messy and just talking mess and not making any sense and turning against her alliances, throwing everybody under the bus. But the thing with Ashley was she talked so much this week. She was able to help keep herself off the block. Now, I know she had Mickey behind her. She had Morgan behind her. She had Jimmy behind her. She had Rachel. She had all these people behind her, helping. But somehow or another, Ashley's persistence and, just being so self-unaware actually helped her to not go on the block. So I have to give her a very low premium, even though I think overall she's a pretty messy player. Okay, Ava. Now, Ava, Ava is a hard one for me because I want to give her a top shelf. Why do I want to give her a top shelf? She's really good standing within the game. She socially is really, really well liked within the game. And she's starting to pick up some strategy. She's aligned with Rachel. She's aligned with Lauren. But people just like her in general. She's been talking to Mickey, but a couple of people, mainly Ashley, has kind of noticed that, oh, Ava, what about that Ava? She's kind of, nobody really talks about her, looks at her as a danger, which could be a danger. So I'm going to do it, guys. I'm giving her a low top shelf. She's not getting a high one yet because I'm seeing it. People are starting to think that Ava could be, playing really well at this game. But mostly she's done nothing wrong to cause attention to herself. She's kind of playing in the middle. So I'm going to go with the low top shelf fave. Okay. Moving on, we have Jimmy. Now, Jimmy has been all over the place. I don't feel that he's done a whole lot this week to get on anybody's bad graces, even though, his own alliance was still a little bit taken aback by his HOH, in which Amy went out. And that wasn't good because he was aligned closely to people who were aligned with Amy. With that being said, I think that he did a really nice job in getting and keeping Ashley off the block and starting to build up some trust. So I'm going to give him a premium, just straight up premium, no low, no high, premium. Okay, Catherine. Catherine is getting a hooch. I don't know what Catherine's game is supposed to be. She's with Riley. Does she really want to be with Riley? What's going on? I don't get a whole lot from her. Not a big fan of her personality, not a big fan of her game. Don't really know where she stands too much. Don't really have much to say about Catherine. So she's getting a hooch for me. Next, we have Keanu. Now, Keanu definitely gets a hooch. However, Keanu's hooch is very entertaining. He has really, for the most part, bad reads. And he is just kind of like, he doesn't believe anything that the women say to him. And so it's really hard for me to actually say that I like Keanu, but Keanu is very entertaining. Would I be okay if Keanu goes at any time? Yes, but he does create drama. But Keanu just doesn't really seem to know what he's doing in this game at all. And I know I saw somebody, I don't know who this person was, so I want to credit them. They said the cast photo of Keanu with his like shoulders shrug was really a good indication of how he was going to play the game. Confused. And so he's a hooch because nobody wants to be associated with Keanu. Rachel's trying to build some type of relationship with him, but she really would still like him out. Next, we have Kelly. Now, Kelly is definitely a hooch. Now, Kelly is always volunteering to go up on the block, but we know she is capable of winning competitions. My issue with Kelly is that she wants to be Tucker. She doesn't really know much about this game. She has only seen, I guess, like recent seasons of Big Brother. She hasn't done her real research, and she's just taking it as a joke. And it could be offensive to people who really, really study the game, who really are trying to work hard at it, and really are just happy and thankful and grateful to be there. So Kelly, as far as I'm concerned, you are definitely a hooch, a low hooch on my level, and you can get up and go fly on one of those planes that you know how to fly on. Okay, because she's, remember, a pilot and a web designer. Moving on, we have Lauren, who is the current HOH. Now, Lauren has, for the most part, gone under the radar, except this whole showman thing, in which we know that Lauren doesn't really appear to really be into Zach. If anything, if Vince was single, I would think she would be more into Vince because of the chemistry they have. It's like really awkward to see Lauren with Zach. Now, what do I know? I'm not a relationship expert. I just am not getting the chemistry between them. And Zach even said that, oh, I think I'll play the showman's thing up and make it seem like it's more than it is to make myself less of a target. Now, I don't know if that makes sense for his game, but we'll see. We'll see moving forward. So, what am I going to give Lauren? Lauren, I would have normally given her a premium, but she's getting a hooch. She's getting a hooch because she actively made a decision that was not, I don't think is going to be for her best interest. And it was something that her allies did not want. However, her allies were too passive. And Lauren is just always just scared. She's just so timid, so timid. I don't care if she's 22. So what? There are other people who are 24 in the game. There's other people who are 23 in the game, and they aren't timid like that. Hell, Mackenzie, MJ from last season was 22 and she was not timid. Did she always make the best decisions? Not necessarily, but guess what? She made decisions. Okay. Now we have Mickey. Now, Mickey has been, pretty much steadily playing a very good game at times. I think she was like teetering on that top shelf level to high premium. I'm going to still go with a high premium for her. The only really issue with Mickey is there is a lot of heat on Mickey and Mickey, but nobody's going to take that. I don't think too many people will take that shot, although I don't know. I don't know if Keanu might take it. If Kelly stays somehow, she might take it. I don't know. I don't know. But the biggest thing right now for me with Mickey is she's not going to be able to use her power because pretty much everyone has sniffed out that this lady has that power. But she has a way of talking to people and convincing people to do the things that she wants. And I'm going to give her a lot of credit for it. I don't know what's up with her relationship with Morgan. It's like a love-hate relationship at this point. They're still allies, but obviously they aren't as close as they used to be, but it is not fractured completely. So that part is good. So I'm going to give her a high premium. Now, Morgan. Morgan, I do like Morgan a lot, but Morgan, issues with Morgan, she plays so hard, so hard. That's a con. A pro, she plays so hard. So it's like, you take the good and the bad with Morgan. It could win you the game and it can have you go out in, before pre-jury. So we just don't know with Morgan. And then some of her allies, I don't think that they would necessarily take her as their number one pick, but she does have allies, even though she has people who want to take her out. But she still has, a good number of allies. So I'm going to give her a premium, just kind of like straight premium in the middle, not a high premium, not a low premium, just in the middle. Okay. Who do we have next? Okay. Rachel. Hmm. Rachel's another one. I'm going to give Rachel a high premium. Rachel is playing a very good game and one that is more strategic than we are normally used to seeing her. She is, probably not the comp beast anymore. But she's being a lot more level-headed and taking time to develop relationships, even with people that she doesn't particularly care for. She knows what she's here for. And a lot of people probably won't try to take her out until jury, but there are some fools in there, and I don't know if they're fools, but there are some people who want to make a statement and say, this is for my resume, and may try to take a shot at the queen early. I don't know if they have the numbers though. So high premium for Rachel. Next, we have Riley. Riley is just a hooch. Riley's a hooch. I don't know if Riley will wake up and actually do something in the game. I heard that they said that he may do something and he's willing to participate now, but it just seemed as though he was just sitting around flirting with Catherine, and that's pretty much all that he's been doing. And he says not so nice things about women, and it's Riley. So Riley gets a hooch. A hooch. Next, we have Vince. Now, Vince could be like last week, I had Vince at a premium. He's a hooch this week because what Vince did was he spent a whole lot of time talking to his number one, or at least she thinks he's her number one. And what came of that? Well, One of his allies is on the block. Actually, all of his allies are on the block for the most part, but one that he probably really does care about and could help him in this game, Adrian, because Adrian would be a shield for him. But instead, Ashley is off the block, someone he's actively wanted gone since week one. And all he had to do was tell Lauren, hey, Lauren, please, we got to get Ashley on the block. She's bad for my game. She's bad for your game. We need her out the house. And Lauren even confirmed this to him later and said, why didn't you tell me what to do? He was too busy worried about what other people would think. He was too busy worried about other people would think that he was running her house, her HOH. So he gets a hooch from me. Can he redeem himself? He's in a bit of trouble. Rachel's after him, even though they created some fake alliance. She's spreading it all over the house. Some people are starting to see Vince for who he is, which is a floater. Having deals with 50,000 people. So let's see if he can somehow or another maneuver his way out of this. Next, we have Will. I had high hopes for Will. I don't know if he's going home. Will isn't doing anything. Will is feeling sorry for himself. Will is using the excuse, oh, I'm older and can't talk to these people. How come the older women can talk to the people? How come Jerry from what was it? Season 10 was 75 years old. How was he able to make it to the final three? How? Because he fought. He made his mouth, he complained, but people just said, oh, just bring Jerry on with us. He can't win anything. Will. People like you. You could actually probably win something because you're not decrepit. And a lot of these comps that they've had so far have not been physical. Now, whatever power veto that Mr. Keanu won, I think it was more physical. I'm not 100%, but they have some that are just guessing games. They have some that is just, chance and luck. Okay, he gets a hooch. And finally, Zach. Now, Zach, I thought, had been playing the best game between him and Mickey. I thought they were playing really, really great. He definitely takes a step down. He is at a premium, though, because I had him at a top shelf. The reason why he's at a premium is because nobody really is looking at Zach except for Mickey. Everybody else, Morgan, Rachel, Ashley, Lauren, Vince, everyone, Adrian, everyone that you can think of is not looking at Zach like he is someone to be worried about. They all want to bring him to jury, except for Mickey. And guess what? He has that extra veto where he can, buy his spot off the block. So he's sitting pretty good. But did he do well this week? No, he didn't do well this week because Ashley did not go up on the block. And he could have had some sway in that, and he was too passive in order for anything to happen. Okay. So, anyway, only one person has landed on my top shelf ranking this week, and that is Ava. And it just by a little bit, I'm giving her, like I said, a low top shelf. So, who's going home? Right now, most likely it will be Kelly. But guess what? Kelly's very capable of winning competitions. The issue comes in when it's between Adrian versus Will. Now, guys, I don't know. It's really a toss up. It really could be a split house between Adrian and Will. So we will see what happens. Guys, let me know who you think should go home in the comments. Guys, and don't forget that tonight they have an episode, the live eviction, and we will be here telling you our thoughts about who went home. I'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.